And my with me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids. And they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum. Always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up, I see you like the again. Why you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. They be taking everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go your man with my name in your mouth? I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a. Them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 woo, money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways, sideways, sideways.
Hey, what's up, gang?
Let me go secure for the game right quick.
Hey, what's up, gang?
I got it.
I think it's my fault.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Jets. With that, we head up to MetLife Stadium as we'll hand it over to the two men that'll call the action, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we pull the curtain on the postseason with an AFC wild card matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Jets. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Garden. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain of 39 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw on second down. Murray rolling to his right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well. But that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out. finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things. When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Aaron Colvin there to make the tackle.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray throwing a slant pattern here, complete. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Here's Murray. Being chased out left. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. It's their quarterback. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs take it right down and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Butker now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. Under center, it'll be the Southern California native standing at 6'4", Sam Darnold.
I love how he exploded on the national scene his redshirt freshman year when, at the beginning of the season, he was not named the starting quarterback. But when USC was struggling, he got an opportunity. And by the end of the year, the Rose Bowl MVP, an epic shootout with Penn State, and put him on the NFL radar in a big way.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
I don't know about you, but I love a good undrafted free agent success story. So let's take a look at Robbie Anderson, wide receiver, because in 2017, 63 catches, 941 yards, and a strong candidate for the Pro Bowl. Didn't quite get there, but was knocking on the door. How about that for an undrafted free agent out of Temple, now making good in the NFL? Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Darnold will throw it on 3rd and 1. Open man is Uzomah. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And he stopped immediately there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. And a glance now at the Chiefs' defense.
I'm looking at Jabril Peppers in the secondary, the 25th pick in the first round in 2017. Played in 13 games, 57 tackles and an interception. But what I like most about him is versatility. He can play cornerback, but I think he's best at safety and a little bit of what they call nickel or dime linebacker, where he can go inside and use his tackling ability in the running game.
If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Here we go now. Boom.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where he, the big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, but he's got it.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
This is Crowell. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. After the penalty, it's Crowell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A good run of 6 yards there, gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 10-yard line, here's 2nd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go.
He's going to get it running right. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Isaiah Crowell, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting them.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They've got a 2nd down and 5 here to start things out. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Leopard! Gone!
Throwing on 1st down. Murray. And going deep for Hill. He's got it at the 15. And deep he goes into Jets territory before being taken down. A big play there for KC. 52 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A first down carry for Barkley. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that's a great spot to call it. Instead.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. In for the score. And the Chiefs are in for 6.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense, but when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that makes the score 14-7. Butker now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. I guess you could say they're kind of fortunate to be in the position that they're in, able to host as a division champ, because it's really one of the weakest divisions in the NFL.
And there's often the discussion every time, right, that 4th seed, should they actually be hosting? Because sometimes it turns out that division winner has a lesser record than wild card teams that get in, and some people think that'd be a more fair way of doing things. But I got to tell you, I personally like it. The winning a division title, I don't care what the division, how it's ranked, it still means something to me, and I like the fact that they get to host.
I think that that's the reason you have the divisions. If you didn't just stack them all up and take the best 6 records, but there's a division for a reason, and the champion hosts the first round.
And the first rule of thumb in building a team, build a team to win your division. Beat those teams first, then you go from there.
Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. Fielded at the 20. Spinning away. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Murray now. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it, because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll try to run forward Barkley. And the penetration too strong. He won't make it back to the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. On fourth down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. And we shift our focus to Isaiah Crowell. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now a handoff to Crowell. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Here's Darnold. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Hey, all right, here we go. Boom, landed.
On 2nd down, here's Crowell. Broke a tackle, but not much room there ultimately. Just up past the 25 and no further. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. It's caught. Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. On first down, it's Darnold. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, it's one thing to complete that pass on a nice sunny 70-degree day, but in these elements, that's a tough thing to do.
It is, and let's just put the whole thing together, not just throwing the ball. Trying to protect the quarterback now when you got the pass rushers coming at you. Maybe things are a little slippery on the field. The guys trying to cover downfield, wanting to make sure they keep their footing as the guys make their cuts. Looking back and locating the ball, you name it, it's difficult all the way around, but the guy throwing it, he may have the toughest task. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Going to throw deep for the end zone. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And Bullock will put this one through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Carter, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And now here comes Kansas City. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. To throw on second down. Murray, he's going to air one out. And it's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A handoff to Bartlett. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he slides to avoid the hit. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, Murray stepping up. He's going to Kansas City touchdown.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Extra point safely through, and that makes it a 21-10 game. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Butker now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. 9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half, as it's 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Crowell. And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Earl Thomas in on the stop. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup, as we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. But first, let's remind everybody what's coming up tomorrow in the AFC. We've got the 3-6 game, as it'll be the Houston Texans doing battle with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, in our game, it took a little while to get settled in, but we were in for a battle royale in this second half. And to call the action, let's go back to the guys who've been there all year, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Jets. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On second down, Darnold. The left side completion to Jones. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, still first down on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with second and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom,
Again, it's Crowell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a third and long situation coming up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Third and long, it's Darnold. And avoids the contact by sliding. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 44-yard line.
Here we go now.
Here's a give to Crowell. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
They'll run it again with Crowell. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Now a play fake here on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about a different style of running in order to get this guy going.
All right, here we go. Blue, line it.
Now it's Crowell. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The Kansas City defense, tough to throw on there, and now it's 4th down.
Well, that was excellent coverage right there, and he definitely did the right thing, showing that discretion is definitely the better part of valor. Threw it away, preserved the opportunity to kick for a field goal.
And excellent coverage. And right now the human is controlling the defense, so good job, human. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. And Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. Back to throw. Murray. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Well, the dump-off gets them 9, so now they're in much better shape for 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go now.
From the gun, Murray. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out and out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. They go play action here on 1st down. Looking downfield for Jones. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 52 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat. Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
On the run, it's Crowell. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the fourth quarter.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And incomplete here on third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And Bullock will put this one through, and that'll get the lead down to 5. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And now back out comes the offense. And right now they're just looking for a little more cushion, trying to make this a 2-score game. Points here would go a long way, obviously, to propelling them into the next round.
And this is where the head coach, offensive coordinator, they've had to set a tone all year long about what they do on offense. So most teams want to stay in attack mode, but you have to do it with some bit of caution, don't you? Because you can't come away with no points. You need these points here in order to feel a lot better about where they are in this game.
But this time of the year, playoffs, game of this magnitude, this is what we hope for.
Yeah, it's exactly what we hope for. You want to run your offense cautiously, but not so cautiously that you just give it up.
Again, it's Barkley. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That one good for 12 yards in a Kansas City first. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And he fires one incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's a give to Barkley. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. On third down, Murray is going to find Hill here. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On first down, Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half. Incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. He got 29 yards that time.
I know it looks like fun to guys like you and me. We're up here in the booth and to everyone watching on television, but are you kidding me? in the snow, that type of a play, in the cold, you know that had to hurt to make that play.
I'm just mad he didn't make a snow angel while he was down there. Opportunity missed. But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Operating from the gun, Murray. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
To throw is Darnold. Isaiah Crowell, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
2nd down and 10, Darnold. A screen complete to Crowell. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
They'll try to run for it with Crowell. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. This one complete to Coleman. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
All right, here we go.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Set. Blue landing. Blue landing.
A 1st down throw, Darnold. And he will find his man in the end route, complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Time for a break. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Blue landing. Blue landing.
He's back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time. And it's 2nd down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Great hands there defensively to knock the ball away in the end zone. My partner just stood up. It's 4th and goal, and the game coming down to one play.
And there's no way you're getting me back down there again. They have to do it one more time. This is exciting.
Glad you remembered to come back on mic for this.
Set. Blue landed.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and as a result, their playoff run may end right here. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
They begin with a run by Barkley, and he'll take this one up to about the 13. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Looking to throw. Murray, flush to his right. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
They'll look to throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the 1st down. That's what's vital to them.
Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
And that one... oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They go down to a knee, and that will do it. They are moving on here in the playoffs. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get